Hi, hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Soumya and this is the video on the topic cell signaling and this is the part 3 video. In this video we are going to discuss about signaling mediators. Before that, to understand this video better, I will give a quick recall about the previous video. Because to understand this topic you have to have that video about the connection between the previous video and this video will help you to make understanding this topic better, because it has the basic. And then I will give it small hints so that if you thorough in that you can understand this video better. Okay, first we will start with that. The hints I would like to give is that we know that as we are studying about the cell signaling, and I have already taught this in the previous video. What is cell signaling? Cell signaling means cell communication. Here the ability of a cell to receive and process and transmit signals within its environment and within itself is called cell signaling. This is the definition of the cell signaling, or simply just we can say that here the cells are communicating. If you have to give one more definition, make you to understand easily, here is the one more definition. The process by which a cell respond to substances outside the cell through signaling molecules found on the surface of and inside the cell, that is called as cell signaling. Okay, it simply means that here the cells are communicating because they will get some kind of stimuli. They have to receive, they will receive that and they will process that and they will give the response for that. Okay, and then the different kinds of functions are going to take place. Here we can see this is the cell. Okay, so I'm just zooming out and I'm drawing here, and this is the cell membrane. This that is I wrote it, or you can say plasma membrane, or you can give it as a trans membrane. Okay, and this part is called as exterior part, or you can say proximal part, and below that, okay, inside that part is called as distal part, and this part is called as cytosol because it is inside the cell, that is cytosol. Okay, this part is called as cytosol. This is the plasma membrane. Remember, this is the proximal or exterior region, this is the distal region. And here in case what happens, we can see the receptor here. This is the receptor. Okay, and for this is the receptor. Okay, and this one will become the target cell or receiver cell. Okay, on target cell or receiver cell we can see the receptor, and here the sender cell, this one is the sender cell which I wrote it, and sender cell sends the information via the signaling molecule, and signaling molecules comes and binds with the receptor and it forms a ligand activated receptor. Okay, so and then now this one will helps in activating a signaling pathways. Okay, and this one will become the end target. And also I have taught in the previous video. If you don't watch that video, I would like to recommend you to watch that video because that is very important. Here the end targets are 4 types, that is transport protein which helps in transport, and the second one is cytoskeleton which helps in cell shape, adhesion, migration, movement, and the third end target is enzymes which helps in metabolism, and the fourth one is gene which helps in formation of the functional gene and also helps in the gene expression like transcription and translation. Okay, these are the important 4 end targets, and also I have taught that these will become the signaling mediators. Now we are going to study about signaling mediators. What are these signaling mediators are? Okay, now make you to understand in a better manner, I have already wrote the notes for you guys. Okay, I'm hoping this will be helpful. So the signaling mediators are of different types. The different types of signaling mediators includes, these are of 5 types, and remember, keep practice these and work on these to remember these 5 types of signaling mediators. Here the first signaling mediator is effector, the second one is adapter protein, third one is secondary messenger, fourth one is protein kinases, and the fifth one is transcription factors. These are the 5 types of signaling mediators. Okay, what is the function of these signaling mediators? These will transfer the information to the end target. Okay, and as I mentioned before, for make you to understand, see here I have draw the diagram here. I guess this will be visible. This is the trans membrane or plasma membrane. Okay, and this is the receptor. Okay, or this is the signaling molecule, and this is the exterior region, and this part will be the distal part, and this is the cytosol. This whole will become the cytosol. Okay, so we know this here. Then we know that after binding this, here the signaling mediators are going to help in the transfer of the information. So what are those signaling mediators? There are 5 types of signaling mediators, that is effectors, adapter proteins, secondary messengers, protein kinases, and transcription factors. We will see one by one. First we will start with effectors. What are these effectors? Here we will first start with the definition here. Any component that is distal, means that's why I repeated this diagram one more time. Remember, these points are important here. Any component that is distal to the receptor. Okay, so we know that this is the receptor, this is the exterior region, and this is the distal portion, right? Okay, if any component that is distal to this receptor and receives the information from signaling molecule or from receptor, those are called as effectors. I am hoping this is very easy to understand. With the diagram, I am keeping it very simple. Try to concentrate here and understand. I am repeating once again here. Any component that is distal to the receptor and receives information from either signaling molecule or from receptor, those are called as effectors. These are, what are effectors? Effectors are signaling mediators. Now, again, these effectors are of 2 classes. Again, these are 2 types. Okay, first one, effector enzymes. First one is effector enzymes. Second one is effector ion channels. Okay, we will learn the first one, that is effector enzymes. Here, what are these effector enzymes? We know that effector is a signaling mediator. Enzymes, we know the enzymes are enzymes. Okay, we know enzymes. Here what happens, some of these signaling mediators, that is effectors, are enzymes. That's why these are named it as effector enzymes. See, very easy. Some effectors are enzymes. Those kinds of enzymes are called as effector enzymes. And these effector enzymes are again further divided into 2 classes. We will learn one by one now. The first one, concentrate here. This is very important to understand. The first one, the receptor itself is an effector enzyme. Here the receptor itself is an effector enzyme. Here look at in the diagram here, this is the receptor, right? This one is the receptor. This receptor itself is an effector enzyme. What is this effector enzyme? This is a signaling mediator, which means that here the receptor itself is going to act as a signaling mediator. And I am continuing the sentence here, that is this receptor has intrinsic effector enzymatic activity. Intrinsic means inside. See here, it has intrinsic effector enzymatic activity. Effector E, enzyme E. Okay, it has a intrinsic enzymatic activity in this side. What I said, this is the cytosolic side, right? That's why it is called as cytosolic domain. Okay. So that those type are called as effector enzymes. That is the first type of effector enzymes. Here the example for this is receptor tyrosine kinase. Sorry, I wrote it or this is RTK, receptor tyrosine kinase. Okay, receptor tyrosine kinase. Now we will move on to the next type of effector enzymes. Here the second type is, the effector enzyme is distinct and different from the receptors. Okay, here what happens in second time, these effector enzymes is very distinct and they are different from the receptor. Here what happens, the receptor will have the effector enzymatic in itself. Okay, but here what happens, the receptor and the effector enzymes both are different and distinct. In that, again in second type, again we are going to get the 2 types. We will look at the first one here. The effector enzyme is extrinsically physically linked to the receptor, and these effector enzymes are called non-receptor effector enzymes. Non-receptor effector enzymes. Here example for that, non-receptor tyrosine kinase is the example for this kind of signaling mediators. I will make you understand here. And the receptor here, these kind of receptor, these receptors are called receptor linked to an enzyme. So I will make you to understand. You may feel it is difficult. Now I will make it simple with a diagram. See, have a look here. Here what they are saying, effector enzyme is extrinsically physically linked. Stop it here. We will understand this. Here, think this is the effector enzyme. Okay, this is the effector enzyme, that is signaling mediator. It is, which is extrinsically means outside, and we know that this is the receptor here. Okay, this is the receptor, and this is the which region? This is the distal region, and this is exterior or proximal region, and this is the membrane, transmembrane. Okay, and this part, this side will become the cytosolic region. Here this effector enzyme is extrinsically, you can look here, these are extrinsically means outside, extrinsically, and physically they are linked here to what? Receptor, and these kind are called as non-receptor effector enzymes, and this receptor are called receptors linked to an enzyme. See, is very easy now. Now second type. The second type, the effector enzyme is located separately from receptor. Okay, second type, now I am explaining the second type here. The effector enzyme is located separately from receptor, but the receptor and effector enzyme may be connected by an adapter protein or coupling protein. Okay, this is the second type. Next point, this separate effector enzyme may be membrane bound, they may bound to the membrane. Okay, for that example is adrenaline cyclase, or they may be located in the cytosolic region, or you can just simply say cytosolic. Example for this is guanylate cyclase. See, I will make you to understand this with an diagram here. Okay, so concentrate here. First one, the second type, now I am explaining the second type. The effector enzyme is located separately from the receptor. Okay, see, this is the receptor, this is the effector enzyme. As I mentioned here, these are located separately. Okay, they are linked here separately like this. Okay, from receptor, but this receptor and effector enzyme may be connected by an what? Adapter protein. This is the important here. Okay, and here if that is bounded, and this effector enzyme, if it is bounded to the membrane, this membrane, okay, if it is bounded to the this membrane, plasma membrane, transmembrane, then this is called as membrane bound. Example for this is adenylate cyclase. Okay, that is the first one. Next one, here the same thing. Here the effector enzyme is located separately from receptor, and here receptor and effector enzymes may be connected by adapter protein or coupling protein, and this one will be cytosolic. See here the region, it is located in the cytosolic. Here you can get the difference, here it is bounded to the membrane, but here it is located in the cytosolic region. Example for that is guanylate cyclase. Okay, that's about the signaling mediator, that is about the first one, effectors. In the next video we will discuss the effectors only, but there is a second type, that is effector ion channels, and then we will discuss adapter proteins and secondary messengers. Okay, like that in the next video. I am hoping this video will be helpful. If you learn something from this video, please do share and subscribe. Thank you everyone.